Hello students, today we will discuss about average velocity or average speed. Here I have discussed 5 types of problem related to average velocity. If you see this total lecture, then you will be able to answer any type of question related to average velocity or average speed on your competition exam like NEET, JEE and as your board exam. Here type number 1. A car travels from A to B at a speed of v 20 km per hour and returns from a speed of 30 km per hour. Suppose this is a point A, this is a point A, this is a point A and this is a point B, and this car is travel along this direction with velocity v1 or speed v1 and return to this point a1 divided a with velocity v2. You have to calculate the average speed. Average speed can be calculated. V average can be calculated the total distance divided by total time taken. So V average or average speed can be written as, here suppose the total distance is s, then the A to B equals to, here is A, B equals to suppose s, then the total distance will be s plus s, and here time taken, suppose the for A to B is time taken t1 and A to B to A time taken is t2, then total time taken can be calculated as t1 plus t2. Now this is the equation number 1. Now you have to calculate the time 1, t1. What is the t1? t1 will be as s by v1 and t2 will be s by v2. Then put this value, then v average will be 2s divided by s by v1 plus s by v2. Then 2s will be, here s will be common, and v1 and v2, here is v2 plus v, here will be v1, suppose this will be a v1. S will cancel out, so v1 v2 will be upper, then 2 v1 v2 divided by v1 plus v2. This is the formula of getting the average velocity in this type. So average speed v average will be, here is 2, v1 equals to, suppose here is 20, v2 equals to 30, and here is 20 plus 30, so it will be 2 into 20 into 30 divided by 50. So this will be cancelled out, and it will be 4 1 2 0 by 5, then it will be 40 km per hour. The average speed will be 24 km per hour. Now you have to calculate the average velocity. Here is average velocity will be velocity can calculate it as total displacement, total displacement, displacement by total time, total time. Here total displacement is equals to 0 because this particle go to here and return to the original point. So the total displacement is 0. That means total displacement is 0. That's why this total time, then the average velocity will be 0. This is the type 1. Now type 1, another problem, number 2. One car is moving on a straight road covered 1/3 of its distance with 20 km per hour and rest with 60 km per hour. Calculate the average speed. First of all, I have calculated the formula. Here, suppose this is a point and this is the point. This is the total journey. This is the total journey. The car is moving 1/3 of this. Suppose this is x distance. This is x. This is x. And this is x. The total distance will be, total path will be 3x. Total path will be 3x. Now the one car is moving on the straight road covers 1/3 of distance. That means this distance A2, suppose here is C, here is D, here is B. This car is moving with velocity v1 in this case, and here is suppose v. Here is suppose this condition in total condition is suppose is v2. Here is from here is v3. You have to calculate the average velocity for in this case. Suppose this is the first, I have calculate the formula. Here the total, suppose this is time taken by this particle is t1, here is t2, and here is t3. So the average speed can be calculated as total distance divided by total time. This is the main formula. So V average will be, here is total distance is 3x, and here the total time is t1 plus t2 plus t3. So here is V average will be, here is 3x. Here t1 will be x divided by v1, t2 will be x by v2, and t3 will be x by v3. Suppose now the here is 3x, here is 3x, so x will be common, then 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus 1 by v3. So this x will be cancel out, then it will be, here is V average will be, here is x cancel out, this x and this x will be cancel out, here is 3 and 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus 1 by v3. This is the formula. Okay, here is, you see that here is a 3 division. If there is a n division, then it will be V average will be, if there is a n division of the path, then it will be n divided by 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus 1 by v3 plus ... 1 by vn for the n division. This is the generalized formula. But here in this case v2 equals to v3, and because the rest is with 60 km per hour, then the V average will be 3 divided by 1 by 20. Suppose this is V, so this will be a V1 plus 2 by V2 by V. Suppose V2 and V3 will be equal because this is the 60 km per hour. So suppose this is V, then 1 by V1 plus 2 by V. So this will be 3, and here will be V1 into V2, and here is V plus 2 V1. So put this value. Suppose this is here put this value of this equation. Suppose this is the V average. V average will be, here is 3 V1 V2 by V plus 2 V1. Here is 3, and here V1 is 20 km per hour, and V equals to, here is V, not V2, there is only V. So here will be only V, that means 60 km, and here is V, that means 60 plus 2 into 20, then it will be 60 gone 60 multiplied by 60, here in 60 plus 40, that means it will be 60 divided by 100. This will be cancel out, so this will be 36 km per hour. This is the average speed of the car. I have deduct the generalized formula, then I have put the value of this physical quantity. In this, if you solve in this way, then you cannot be, it will be very easy to you. Now number 3, if a car covers 25 of total distance with V1 and 35 distance with V2, then calculate the average speed. So this is the average speed always. Suppose this is the point A and this is the point B. Here is 25 path, that is, this is A, this is A, this is A, divide by 1 2 3 4 5 division. This is V1, this is V1, and remaining 3 path is V2. Here is V2, here is V2. So in this case I have already deduct the formula, that means V average will be in this way. Here is N, here is N, and here is 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2 plus 1 by V3 plus 1 by V4 plus 1 by V5. This is the formula. Now this is division is 5 division, and here is number 1 is V, here is V1, here is also a V1, but here remaining is V2, remaining is V2. So this will be, in this case will be 2 by V1 plus 3 by V2. So here is 5. So what it will be having, here is V average will be 5 divided by, here is V1 V2, 2 V2 plus 3 V1, then it will be 5 V1 V2 divided by 2 V1 plus 3, here V2, this will be V2, this will be V2, and this will be V1, and put this value of V1 and V2. So V average will be, here is 5, V1 is so V1 and V2, then this is the formula. V average formula is, so this is the formula. Okay, this is the formula. this is the V average, this is the V average equals to 5 V1 V2 divided by 2 V1 plus V2. So this is the problem 3. And here I have discussed type number 1. This in type 1, if the path is divided in n times, then the average velocity of this situation will be V average equals to, in this case V average will be n by divided by 1 by V1, 1 by V2 plus 1 by V3 plus dot dot 1 by Vn. So this is the type 1, and here type 2. In this case, uniform velocity in different time. So a car moves for half of its time at 60 km per hour. So this is the path. So suppose this is A and this is the B. Now a car moves of half its time, total time, suppose total time is T. Here is total time is T, total journey time is T, and half of its time, suppose here is time is 2t, suppose total time is 2t, then this time and here is another time T, another time T. Total distance covered by 60 km, that means here is total distance is S equals to 60 km, total distance is 60 km. Now you have to calculate that here is, in this case, half distance given by V1 and another half distance is V2, another half distance car is going with speed of velocity V2, then average speed equals to total distance divided by total time. So suppose this is S1 and this is S2, this path is not equal because here time is divided by 2, path is not divided by 2. So V average will be, total distance is S1 plus S2, and here is time T1 plus time T2. Now V average will be here S1 can calculate it as with the help of this formula, V equals to S by T. So S will be VT, V into T. So S1 will be V1 into T1 and S2 will be V2 into T2, and here is T1 plus T2, and here T1 is, here the total here is this T1 plus T2 is total time, that means total time is 2t, here is total time is 2t, and T1 and T2 are both are equal, here is V1 plus V2 and total time both are equal, that means T, here is, suppose because T1 plus, that means here is T1 equals to T2, so this T1 is equals to T2 and T1 plus T2 equals to 2t, so it will be TT cancel out, so V1 plus V2 by 2. If I put this value, then it will be 80 plus 40 divided by 2. So it will be 120 divided by 2, that means 60 km per hour. 60 km per hour. This is the average velocity in this case. Number 2. A train has speed of 60 km per hour for the first 1 hour and 40 km per hour of the next half hour. Calculated its average speed. A train has a speed of 60 km for the first 1 hour and 1 hour. So suppose this is the point A and this a point B. So the first 1 hour, suppose this is the t equals to 1 hour. For the first 1 hour, the speed is v1. The remaining part v2 is t equals to half hour. You have to calculate the average speed. So average speed, suppose this is the sub, then total time will be 1 hour plus half hour. That means it will be 60 and 30. That means 90 minutes. 90 minutes. So 1 hour, that means 60 minutes, and here is 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So the for average speed will be total distance, that means suppose s1 plus s2, here is suppose this is s1, this is s2, divided by t1 plus t2. So in this case it will be v1 into t1 plus v2 into t2, because s equals to vt, and here is t1 plus t2. So here you see that average velocity will be here is v1 and t1. Here is v1 is 60 km per hour. Here is 60 km per hour into 1 hour plus, and here is v2 is 40 km per hour and time is half. Here is t1 is 1 hour plus and t2 is equals to half hour. Then it will be 60 plus 20, and this is 2 and this is 3 by 2. So it will be 90 divided by into 2 divided by 3, and this will be 30. So it will be 60 km per hour. This is the average speed in this case. Number 3 of the type 2. If a person travel along a straight road for a first half time with velocity v1, the next half time with velocity v2, you have to calculate the average velocity. Here you see, suppose this is a point A and this is a point B. So this is the distance, and half time, that means this is the, suppose this is t1 and here is t2 total time, and t1 t2 is equals to t1 equals to t2 equals to suppose t, because both total time is half. Then suppose this total time, if you can in this way, suppose total time is t, this is the total time, then this will be t by 2, and here this will be t by 2. So in this case the velocity is v1 and here is velocity is v2. Suppose this distance is s1, this distance is s2. You have to calculate the average speed. Average speed will be v average will be total distance, that means s1 plus s2 divided by total time, that means t by 2 plus t by 2. So it will be v average will be s1, that means v into t. Here is v is v1 and t is t by 2 plus here is v2, here is t by 2 and here is total is t. So here t by 2 is common, then it will be v1 plus v2 and here is t. T will be cancel out, so average velocity will be this v1 plus v2 divided by 2. This is the number 3 problem, and here is number 4. A car travels on a straight track, moves with a uniform velocity v1 for some time and with a uniform velocity v2 for the next equal time. That means the same condition, you have to calculate the average velocity. So this is the A point, this is the B point, this is A point and this is B point. Half time, suppose the total time is t, there is half time, that means t by 2, here is suppose t by 2. Straight track moves with the uniform velocity v1 for some time, that means v1, and with the uniform velocity v2 for the next equals time. Suppose equals time, that means if there is t by 2 or t by 2, that means you can in this way, you can calculate in this way. Suppose this is t and another is t, suppose this is the v2. So total time would be, total time is 2t, here is 2t. Here you see that a car traveling on a straight track moves with a uniform velocity v1 for some time, that means t, and with uniform velocity v2 for the next equal time, that means if this is a time t, then it will be time t. Suppose this is a s1, this is s2. So v average will be s1 plus s2, that means speed, average speed will be total time, that means t plus t. So it will be average speed will be v1 into t plus v2 into t, and there is a 2t, and t is common, then v1 plus v2 by 2t. T cancel out, then means it will be v1 plus v2 by 2 by 2. This is the average speed of this car. Here is time type 3. If a velocity of car is constantly changing, that means v, here is there, here you see that this v is changed with time constantly. So you have to, in this case, you have to calculate the average speed in the time of duration 10 seconds. Suppose this is the path, this is the path A and B. Total time is 10 seconds. So this v, here is v is depend on time, that means it changing, it is change with time constantly. So this is the time. Suppose v is function of time, this is a function of time. So this is 2 plus 5t. So in this case v average or average speed will be integration of v dt divided by integration of dt. In this way you can calculate the average velocity. So if the velocity is changed continuously, then in this case the average speed will be calculated in this way. So average velocity, average speed will be, here is for 10 seconds, that means it will be 0 to 10, and here is v equals to 2 plus 5t into dt, and here is 0 to 10 is dt. So it will be, here is 2t plus 5t square by 2. This is a lower limit, this is upper limit, and here is total t. This is 0 and upper limit is 10. So it will be, v average will be, here is upper limit, here is 10, that means 2 into 10 plus 5 into 10 square, that means 100 divided by 2, and here is 10. So it will be 20 plus this is 50 and 25 0, and here is 10, that means it will be 270 divided by 10, that means 27 meter per second. Here is, suppose this is a second, in second, so the average velocity will be 27 meter per second. If the velocity is changed continuously, then in this way you can calculate the average velocity. Type number 4. Here is, for the different geometrical path, you have to calculate the average speed or average velocity. Here this is a circular path, this is a circular path, so the radius of the circular path is 20. So here is radius of this path is, that means r equals to 20 meter. When a boy running circular track with uniform velocity 10 meter per second a to b, in this case when this boy from a to b, then the total average speed equals to total distance divided by total time. Here is, you have to calculate total distance. This is the arc, so total is 2 pi r, but here is half. In this case the total distance is 2 pi by r by 2. So here is 2 pi by r is the velocity, uniform velocity is 10 meter per second. This is the total path, and you have to calculate total time. That means, suppose if total time can be calculated by total path, that means pi r, total path pi r divided by total velocity, that means v. So it can be calculated 2 pi r divided by 2 into v by pi r. So pi r we cancel out. Here a boy is running on the circular track with uniform velocity 10 meter per second a to b. Find out the average velocity and average speed. Here is average speed. Average speed will be 2 pi r by 2 total path divided by total time taken is taken by total path divided by time. Then it will be pi cancel out, that means it will be v. The average velocity is, average speed will be 10 meter per second. This is the average speed. this is the average speed, average speed, কারণ because average speed does not change, average speed does not change, but here is average velocity, average velocity, average velocity is changes because here is distance, distance divided by total time. Here is distance is AB, AB. So and here is time taken by this particle will be total time, then it will be total distance is 2r, and here is total time is pi r by v, that means pi r by v. So it will be v 2v by pi, so it will be 2 into v is 10 divided by pi. If I put this value, that means it will be 20 by pi meter per second. This is the average velocity of this case. You see that there is two difference. One is when you calculate speed, then in this case speed does not change because it's constant speed. But if you calculate the average velocity, then average velocity is not distance, it is displacement, it is displacement. This is displacement, displacement is A to B. In this case this is the displacement. So displacement is AB, that means 2r, but time taken to reach this particle at B, is given by total path pi r divided by v. So it will be 2 pi cancel out, that means 2v by pi, 2 into v equals to 10, so it will be 20 by pi meter per second. And another condition, a point traverse 3/4 of the circle of radius r in time t. You have to calculate the average velocity and average speed. So this is the circular path, so 3/4, suppose if I in this way, suppose this is the fourth condition, A to B. So in this case, in this circular case, in this way a particle reach point B from the point A. So this is the 3/4. You have to calculate the average velocity or average speed. Suppose you have to calculate average speed and average velocity. That means average speed, suppose average speed can be calculated as total distance divided by total time. Here is total time is t, and here is total distance is, suppose this is a r, so total distance is this, from this is a pi r plus pi r by 2, from this point to this point, this is total pi r, this is, in this case this is the pi r, and here is pi r divided by 2, that means total 3 pi r by 2. Here is this is r, this is r by 2, so this will be 3 pi r by 2 divided by t. So average speed will be 3 pi r t by 2. Now you have to calculate average velocity. Average velocity. Average velocity. Here you see that for the average velocity it will be total displacement. Here is displacement, not distance. Time, total time. This is total time. Here is displacement. This is the displacement. This is the displacement. Here is r. Here is r. So displacement is root over r square plus r square. This is the displacement because this is a right angle, this is a 90 degree. So if this is r, this is r, then AB will be root over r square plus r square. So here is total time is t. So it will be r root 2 divided by t. This is the average velocity, and here is average speed. Now in this case, number 3, a particle moves with speed v from A to B. Here you see that this is a circular path. This is a circular path. A to B, a particle moves A to B with velocity v, and here B to C with velocity 2v, and C to A is velocity 3v. This angle pi by 2, this angle 2 pi by 3, here is 5 pi by 6. So you have to calculate average speed. Here is average velocity will be 0. So average speed B average will be total distance divided by total time. So total distance is A to A, that means it will be, suppose this is r, this is r. So it will be total distance is equals to 2 pi r, and you have to calculate total time. This time is t1, this is suppose t2, here is t3, here is t3, that means t1 plus t2 plus t3, here is t1 plus t2 plus t3. So it will be 2 pi r, and here is t1 can be calculated with the formula is v equals to s by t, that means t equals to s by v. So s by v, that means s by v plus, suppose this is s1, this is s2 by 2v, and here is t3 is s3 by 3v. This is the case. Then v average will be 2 pi r divided by, here is s equals to r theta, s equals to r theta. This is the formula because this is the theta, this is, suppose this is the theta. If this is theta, then AB will be r theta. Using this formula you can calculate the S1, that means S1 will be r into pi by 2, this is pi by 2, and here is v plus, here is r into S2 equals to r into 2 pi by 3 by 2v, and here is r into 3r into 5 pi by 6 by 3v. This is the in this case. So it will be 2 pi r. So here is only case v is common and pi is common, r is common. So you can calculate pi r and v is a common, this is r. So it will be half, this will be this will be 1/3 because this 2 and 2 will be cancel out, so it will be 1/3. And here is, this is 5/3, this will be 5/3, 5/3, because here is 1/2 pi r by v, here is 2 and 2 will be cancel out, and here is 1/3, here is 1/3, here is this 5 pi by 6, here is another 6, so it will be 1/6 and 1/6, that means it will be, here is 18, here will be 18 because 5 and here is 6, so it will be 5/18. So it will be pi cancel out and RRB cancel out, and V will be further, that means 2V divided by 1/2 plus 1/3 plus 5/18. If you calculate this value, you can easily calculate the average speed. So average speed, V average will be 2V divided by, here is, it will be the, here is 2, 3 and 18, that means 2, 3, 9, that means 3, 1, 1, 3, that means 18. 18 means here is 9, here is 6 and here is 5, so this will be 16V divided by 20, here is 6, that means 15, 15, 20, so it will be 9V by 5. This is the average speed. Now average velocity will be 0. Average velocity will be 0. Average velocity will be 0 because total distance is 0. Total distance is 0. Here is type 5. Type 5 is, you have to calculate the average velocity or average speed from the graph. Here is a graph. This graph is, here is 10, this is meter and there is second. So total, you have to calculate total distance. Total distance. Total distance equals to, here is, this is must be a V, this is a V, this is suppose a V, this is a V, that means velocity, this is a velocity meter per second, so it is time. The total distance is given by the area under the VT graph, total distance. So this is the total distance will be half into, in this case this is a triangle, so half into 5 into 10 plus this, in this case it will be 10 into 5 because this will be 5, this will be 5 and this will be 10, and in this case it will be half into 5 into 10 plus, this is the negative portion, this will be also half into 5 into 10, so it will be, this is 5, this is will be 5, and this is will be a 5. That means 25, here is 50, here is 25, here is 25. That means 75 plus 50, that means 5, 125. So total velocity, total distance is 125. That means total, that means average speed equals to total distance divided by total time. That means it will be total distance to 125, and here is total time taken by this 20 second. So this is the meter per second. The average velocity is 125 by 20 meter per second. Now you have to calculate the average speed. For average speed, you have to calculate total displacement. In this case, this is a plus value, but this is will be minus, so it will be, distance will be half into 5 into 10 for this case, and in this case it will be 5 into 10, and in this case will be half into 5 into 10, because here will be minus, because this is a minus. When you calculate displacement, then it will be a minus value, because this is a minus coordinate, so it will be minus half into 5 into 10. This will be cancel out, so it will be 5, that means 25 plus 50, so it will be 75. So average velocity will be 75 divided by 20. This will be meter per second. This is the number 5 problem. If you